I chose to focus on implementation and creating a systemic implementation plan because when I've seen something great, a new initiative, an idea someone has had, a way of truly transforming a school, and seen it be unsuccessful, it's because there was always something missing within the implementation, something that they hadn't thought about, they hadn't considered. And that one missing piece is truly what made or totally broke that implementation. And so I thought it would be a great idea to take my knowledge of implementation science and the stages of implementation, infusing a little bit of the concerns-based adoption model and knowing what gets in the way during implementation, and aligning that with the CASEL district framework focus areas of systemic SEL implementation. And we ascribe to the transformative social emotional learning competencies, which you can see outlined here. So when we were thinking through this process, myself and my colleague, Felicia Singleton Daniel, we realized that neither tool really worked for us the way it was. And so I started taking these two and thinking about what would integration look like if we were thinking about each stage of implementation for each different focus area. And so we went in depth and with a lot of support from the brilliant minds at CASEL, at NERN, a lot of different colleagues at the county office, as well as folks around the state and partners in our state SEL implementation work. I was able to come up with the different stages of implementation and align them to specific activities outlined in some of the CASEL guides. This is designed specifically for a district level, really, but can easily be adapted to a site as well. As you go through this process, you can check off each piece that you have accomplished, which is so satisfying. And then within each of these, you can scroll down or link to the different stages. So we have our exploration stage with all of the key activities. And we wanted to really come at this from an assets-based lens. So we wanted to start by thinking about what do we already have in place to support this work, which can be specific plans that we already have, different actions maybe within our LCAP or activities, initiatives, programs, and then thinking through what do we need to do to accomplish this. So what are our next steps? And then as well, because there are always so many resources that exist, but curating them and deeming that they are quality is another step that just takes so much time. And so we pulled resources for each stage that will help develop those processes. And then leading through to installation, down to our initial implementation, and then thinking through to sustainability and full implementation. And then we also thought it would be helpful to create an area for folks to curate all of their different documents so they could start thinking about where would we find some guidance in what we're already doing, some of our LCAPs, our mission and vision, our organizational chart, different job descriptions that we might already have. What is our style guide if we're going to start communicating about this outwardly? Do we have an equity plan? What do our SIPSAs look like? Our LCAP, any other guiding documents for our district? Our budgets, because our budgets communicate our values. And then any sort of data collection or reporting that we might have. So in California, we use the Healthy Kids Survey. We might also have Panorama, Core, or any surveys that you've designed yourselves. But when you're thinking about school climate and SEL data, there's a lot more than just those surveys. So this is our process for creating this document.